We're back. Yes, I'm late. I had clients. Now, I did say we were going to do a check-in for the karmic energy. So I have kept the cards and I'm going to pull additional cards. I've also pulled ruins for the energy of what's coming up in the way they're looking at things. Now, it can be a person, place, or thing. It doesn't directly have to be a third-party energy. However, it can be linking to a third-party energy. So when we're looking at this energy at the moment, be it they're a feminine or a masculine, because again, we're looking at twin flame path, high true heart, the crowning energy that they have in the ruin is this. And I was like, okay, what is this relating to? Now, the deity is man. So for some, it can be, again, it's linking to Aquarius. So Aquarius very much links to the wider group energy. So a lot of their thought process can be to do with divine masculine. And this is more so, how do I explain it? With the divine masculine, they very much can be looking at the fact of what they have, what they're doing, who they're spending time with, what their rights are, where they stand in the situation. Hi, Andrew. So again, it can be a male or a female. Please do not take the tone of, the term man, masculine, as it dictating, but where the energy stands, this karmic energy is focusing on the energy of that person and who they're spending time with, what they're doing with their money, their time, the people that they're mixing with, their hopes, their dreams, their ambitions. And they're also looking at where they are in the midst of that situation. It also can be linking to a family tribe energy. And I did mention that because of the nodes being in Cancer. Hi, Dale. This ruin directly relates to the self, individual, family member, friendship, association, intelligence, race, memory, which is what the first waves were there to break down. The paradigms and the notions of what family means, of what, politically correctness inside of relationships mean. And it really is there to break it down and state, where we stand doesn't mean to say we have to stand there due to tradition, due to society's expectations. Spiritually speaking, it's transcendental consciousness, the individual as a person, shaman, and spiritual healer. So there is, in a way, the reason this is happening is to heal these energies, is to heal these people, these groups. And it's also to help them actually understand, I keep hearing the notion, what we want and what we get is two different things. And again, fighting for something, the crowning energy, which I did put it on the thumbnail, and I may leave it, we'll see how we go. It is the Tower card in reverse. So it's really this huge avoidance of not wanting something to come to an end, but deeply knowing that something, in a sense of a cycle, has come to an end. And when we talk in layman's terms of cycles, it's allowing the new to come into your life, whatever that be. And 9 times out of 10, end and, which twin flames know this the best, end is not the end. It's just a new beginning. It's a different way of relating to it. It's a different way of having the equation. But if the situation, where it's standing is, they're feeling as though they're wanting to know where they stand in this predicament. It's like, no, where do I fit into this equation? The thing is, they're not allowing new energy to come into their domain. They're very fixated and holding on to it, almost like it has to stay exactly the same. Look, the Aquarius energy really does link to Saturn. It's very strict by nature. It's very, I'm the martyr. This is the way it needs to be. And I'm not meaning Aquariuses collectively. I mean, in general, the astrology of kind of the demeanor it can take on. It is a Saturnian energy. So the frequency coming through can be causing some depression, really purging the delusion and the blindness. It's an egoic projection. It's a belief system, so to speak. And it does connect to tribe and family traditions and belief systems. So a lot of this, the karmics really not wanting to transform. They're not accepting of the fact of change. Change is always happening. It's when we're busy, we actually don't notice these things. So we're busy, we're operating, And 9 times out of 10, we don't notice it, but it's when we need everything to remain the same. And it's not quite part of the equation. The ego directly believes that by having something in a set way, it is the best way to do such. But by going through that vibration and having those tower moments, which the end is nigh, it's like it's literally here. It could even be from a mental point of view that, yes, in fact, it has ended, but this person energetically has not accepted that factor. Now, yes, they're really reflecting back. I miss you too. Look, they are reflecting back of what they really had hoped and wished something could be. Now, this may have been a paradigm, a tradition, a belief system. It also can be linking to divine masculine. But a lot of these wounds don't directly relate to one individual as per se. It's collective energy in a sense that it's wounding that has been caused since childhood. It's belief systems to do with relationships, situational shifts that occurred inside their life to bring them to where they stand. And sort of unfortunately, in meeting a twin, if a karmic is to meet a twin, initially you will be the initiator of the triggers inside the masculine or the feminine, but ultimately it will be you also that does change through that process. You know, not one of us really gets off unscarred, unchanged, untransformed, so to speak. So ultimately this is the karmic synergy now that is having this epiphany and potentially maybe not even knowing that this is happening, that the reason why these things have led them to this space is so that they could heal that wound connected to their previous pain body experiences of these connections. But they're really projecting all of this energy onto masculine or feminine, that this was done to them, that this is their domain. In going through this spiritual process, I do feel even the demeanor of either the masculine or the feminine, depending on who the karmic is in this situation, are coming across. And look, the way I interpret the cards can be deeply intuitive as well to the T of the card. The energy I'm getting is they're feeling that either feminine or masculine is not doing what they're supposed to. And they're sort of sitting up on their throne in their ego, and there can be some projection. They remember what they thought this could be. Hi, Rebecca. But in seeing what they thought it could be, they're actually then looking at this person and this individual who is directly involved with them or is very detached, is very observant, maybe indulging them but not saying as much. I don't feel, how do I place it? There is a crow in the background as well. They're really using their intuition, and because we do have Juno moving into Scorpio with the crow on the card. And forgive my nails, I need refills, but I'm working. I'm here for you guys. It's almost like intuitively divine masculine knows that the frequency of the enders night is here, so to speak. So Pluto relates to births, deaths, endings in a transformative sense. It's also where we share our resources, the give and take inside of situations. Juno is very feminine energy, so connected to our romantic lives, our connections. You know, what is being given? What is being taken? Is it reciprocal? If it's one-sided, I do feel the karmics do see this as wanting it back, wanting this back to where they feel it should be. Looking at the past and feeling they had a hunch, yes, this was it. And really, you know, all energies at the moment are really healing over these frequencies. I mean, it doesn't have to be that you're deeply triggered. It can be really where you're coming to terms with the fact that what happened in your past. There can be some really great memories coming up. There can be some very sad memories coming up. It's the Virgo energy tends to do that. So with the new moon in Virgo, it's almost compartmentalizing situations. I believe it was a new moon. Let me check. Yep, new moon on the 17th. So with that, it's sort of compartmentalizing and understanding where life was, you know, who you were with, what happened, why it happened, the deeper meaning of it, and making peace with it. Very dark night of the soul energy. The way they're feeling is that, you know, they were hoping for a celebration, like where's their happy ending? adamant that that is the way it's going to be. Very fixated. This is the person. This is how it's going to be. And I do feel this energy a little bit of almost trying to convince the person, really say that this is the way it's going to be. At the same time, very much feeling that this person has made a judgment. Feeling that the cord is being cut, feeling that the energy is being taken away, and then the panic energy has come about. Now, this does relate to, in a sense, a cycle, right? A new cycle has begun, and this is really where the judgment has come in. And I do believe this is from twin side in this karmic equation, where twin is making a judgment, and it can be suddenly the energy has changed. Buy a new plant for the garden. I'll have to take some photos and show you. And, with this cycle, it's already begun, and especially with the nodes having shifted in May, it is that these new cycles have started. However, it's the frequency of, tying out that old energy. So between now and December, it's almost like, wanting to celebrate, wanting to have a new year. So many things transformed. So many situational shifts collectively have changed. That with this new cycle that's coming in, that's already on top of us, on top of the old energy that we're tying out. And the thing is, this new cycle, if this pattern was to occur, what they're buying into is a third-party energy, because they are aware of the twin. They're in awareness of this. Let's see. Okay, so on the top of the deck, we have divine union. They're aware of this connection. They're aware of the fact that there is another feminine or masculine, and there's another person in the mix. Even if they don't know who that direct person is, there is a feeling innately that the energy of the person they were or are with is being pulled away. They're also using, a lot. It might be backstabbing. It might be manipulation. It could be, how do I put it? Gossiping about twins at the moment collectively is very high. So, defaming you, trying to call you out, utilizing manipulation and things to that degree. But again, it's the burdens that need to be dropped. But maybe realizing that some of the actions potentially had been a bit harsh and had pushed either the feminine or the masculine too far in this situation, whoever the person is involved in this. Now, this is teaching them the art of moderation. But it's also, and I've said this before, there's a saying where we say, the zebra doesn't change its, spots. The leopard doesn't change its stripes. Yes and no. Energies do change, but not by doing things exactly the same way. So in a sense, this temperance, going easy, it takes two to tango. Even if they're trying to negotiate, they're actually seeing that potentially this is what this person potentially was worth. But feeling again that it was a little bit too late. Now, I do feel they're trying to find information out. I do feel they're using tactical approaches, gossiping, third-party energies, bringing other people into the mix. Similar to what I went through, drive-bys. It can be where they're actually trying to send messages, state that they have turned over a new leaf. It could even be inside the connection. Again, trying to actually state the case that things are changing. Now, whatever has happened has caused the Tower. Now, it's funny because I've got two different decks, and where masculine's at is really all feminine, whoever the direct individual is involved. The karmic is avoiding this. This person, this twin, is creating it. It's like, look, had enough. It's come to a head. This is what has to happen. I do feel there may have been some negotiation at some point and an agreement, a test, so to speak. But where it's standing, something shifted, and it has actually caused this tower to come in. I don't know if the feed's frozen. I can hear my computer. And that's another thing. I'm getting a new computer soon. So everything will be running smoothly. Here's hoping. Good. Okay. Yeah, this twin knows that this has been going on and on and on. That it has been almost a juggling act, a balancing act, you know, trying to see things from both perspectives, handling a lot of things, but they well and truly know how this goes. It's almost like a new leaf had been turned over, and I'm hearing poker face energy of maybe an olive leaf, things to that degree, you know, coming through where it's appearing to be, in a sense, from a verbal point of view, more balanced, and then a situational shift occurs, and again, either masculine or feminine in this direct third-party energy is looking at the situation going, no, the situation has not changed. It was ignorant for me to feel it would. Now, this is where this twin is really starting to see the importance of keeping things very close to their chest. Also trying to find a safe zone. You've been triggered for days because masculines at the moment, and I will give some channel messages after this in relation to some of the ascension symptoms, and I will later be doing other updates. But yeah, the nausea has been coming from divine masculine, nauseated by the purgatory effect. You know, when you're purging things, feminines will usually go through it first. As you move through your ascension process, you'll almost match each other dually. With it, once you get to a point you're normal and you're functioning, you find about 1 to 2 weeks later, your counterpart will physically go through that energy, and then it'll come back again and you'll be like, what's this? You know, it was great. It's because they're then going through theirs. And because you're empathically connected, you need to breathe it out, you know, so that you can move through that energy. They also know where this is at. If they continue on this path, there's no way they're going to realize their dreams. They, you know, it's causing ill health. It's causing sickness. You know, part of the fixation and part of the codependency can actually be coming from transits as well. To a degree where the trigger points, you know, you're remaining to do things that really aren't in your benefit. We also are going to be moving into the moon energy of Aries on the 1st of October. So we're having a full moon in Aries, which we've got Black Moon Lilith there. We've got Aries in Chiron in retrograde, and we've got Mars retrograde. So that's 4 energies. It's really highlighting, you know, it's the planet of war. It's also, how do I explain it? It's your drive, your war, your ambition. It's you standing up and counting for something. It can be the jerk energy too. So it's depending on where you're at and how you're dealing with it. If you can detach and allow people to actually fight amongst themselves, do such. But it's going to cause a lot of trigger for people that haven't done work on themselves and can't see, you know, addictive patterns, healthy boundaries. It will be very harsh for them to actually experience. But again, being a full moon, it can be a huge purge. It's actually epiphanies, tower moments, you know, needing to let things go, realizing that something's not in your divine path. Because ultimately, if this continued with this individual, they know that this is going to cause a lot of illness. It's an unhealthy dynamic. And they definitely know not to trust this situation. They've lost hope in it. It's like literally not losing sleep over this. I've seen what I need to see. Now, what their intentions are to this, I did pull around. And I shall read it for you. So their intentions towards this situation. And it's funny because I didn't check where Mercury is, but I do believe in the previous video, Shelley mentioned it for me because I'm catching up with my astrology this week. Now, it is relating to Mercury. We also have Mercury. I'm looking at my chart. Surprised I don't need glasses at this stage. October 14th, we're having it going retrograde, I believe. Now, it is connected to Raven. And I did mention on the moon card, I was tuning into masculines, using their intuition, their psyche, reflecting upon the situation, but also knowing that something had to end. Now, Raven is very spiritual in nature. It doesn't have to be a negative thing, but from a holistic spiritual point of view, it can really be your guides communicating with you. And it's also births, deaths, endings. It's like, okay, cycles ending, new cycles beginning. They're happening all the time. Okay, now it's funny because it does connect to fly argic mushroom. And it's almost, I don't know why I feel it's a bit like a bit of an acid trip, It's like, what have I been doing? Like, this must be crazy. Now their intent is, it's kind of worrying. And I will pull a crystal on this just so I can be away from the intuition and example factor. Raven, births, deaths, endings, it's like their intentions towards this situation not panning out for them can be very detached, or it can be very aggressive. So if we do get Tumbaline or anything to that degree, you follow your own instincts when it does come to the situation. Happy Libra season. Here's hoping, eh? Solar returns for anyone is not fun, but ride it out. What did I say? Psychically protect yourself. Hand it back to them, because there can be very dark energy here. And I'll show you the book. So you, Raven, right? I'm not peeing in your pocket. Mercury, Wednesday, air. Odin, ash. Okay, this is evil intentions. I got evil intentions. Okay, advice, communication, contemplation, inspiration, authority, tradition, blessings, verbal skills. Yes. And the one thing I was seeing psychically was the hero's journey, linking to masculines at the moment, and also the art of war during Mars retrograde. Now, esoterically, initiation, scarred knowledge, divine inspiration, delusions, misunderstandings in the reversal, lies, intellectual stagnation. Now, their intent may be to show one thing which was coming through in the reading, but ultimately something shifted, or something is about to shift. That can be quite nasty. That can be quite vindictive in nature. Yes. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to pick a pile 1, pile 2, pile 3. That sounds dreadful, And you can pick the number. Yeah, they're taking pleasure in this. Strange people. Pile 1. How they feel about the karmic. Pile 2, how they feel about the karmic. Okay. Pile 3, how they feel about the karmic. Okay. Then we're going to pull pile 1, how they feel about the feminine. Okay. Pile 2, how they feel about the feminine. You're picking 2. Pile 3, how they feel about the feminine. Okay, so in relation to pile 1, those of you in the house that picked this, okay, they do feel that the karmic is a very controlling, jealous energy. There also could be insecurities that this person has. Now, when it comes to you, they want to party with you. They want to have fun. They want to indulge. They want to have fun. They also may want to take it to the next level. Now, the party energy coming through for some of you is they want to take the connection to the next level. This can be engagement. It can be marriage. It's really wanting to take that connection to the next level. They see this as, fun, great vibration. They can be themselves. They're not feeling that. They feel ultimately there's a lot of triggers that come through. It's a bit like, heavy energy, strict energy. This is the way it's got to be. It feels dull. That they feel that energy maybe is a bit stifling in frequency. I mean, it does feel like it's preventing them from being fluid, Okay, for those of you that picked 2, how they're directly seeing the karmic, there's a lot of clarity. This can also be in relation to money, because this is the card of Taurus. They realize that the give and take is necessary. Some of them during Uranus retrograde might have had a tower moment. That does tend to happen when it goes retrograde. And because it's in Taurus, it does link to finances. So it could be really having the clarity in relation to finances and what they're going to do with it, how they are going to bring about, kind of mending situations, how it's going to balance out. They're looking at that. They also may feel that the person is a little bit financially driven, that if they can physically give them what they need, and I feel very calm in a sense that it's sort of like they've just accepted it. It's like, okay, then you want this, I'll give you this. It's sort of very detached. Now, how they're seeing the feminine is they feel you guys are very strong. They also know that you're sort of coming through in their dream state, and it can even be where they're feeling that you're testing them. You're like, I know you can do it. Come on now. I've done it. You can do it. It's like almost like there's that temptation there to actually walk down that path, but they know that if they do, there's no turning back. So they're very tempted by this situation. They also know that you are waiting and you're their light at the end of that tunnel. But they're feeling you're a little bit stronger than them at the moment. But they also do know that you are saying, hang on a minute, get on your horse, let's go. I'm waiting. There's a light over here. And whereas it feels nurturing. I mean, even looking at the card of the energy, it's sitting there very peacefully. It's like waiting, understanding, coming to terms with the past, seeing the person's kind of, understanding where they've been. You've been where they've been to some degree. So having that direct compassion and, almost saying, okay, well, if you want this, this is what you need to do. So detaching and allowing that to happen. So those of you in group 3, okay, the karmic is maybe to a degree very scared of being alone. There can be abandonment related issues. There can be maybe codependency, looking at things to a degree. The masculines are looking at them like, oh, okay, abandonment related dynamics. So it can be a very, again, immature energy. Looking at things to a degree where it's, I'm the victim. Please don't leave me. Do you have to go to work? Why do you have to go to work? But can't you help me with this? Can't you do this and that? So, to a degree, it's very codependent, and they do find it almost like nurturing a parent, an unwell parent or something to that degree. And this can actually be a parent. So, don't ever feel that the karmic energy has to be a partner. It could be a family member. It might be a mother or a father energy. So, drop it where it lands. Now, how they're looking at the feminine in this situation, they may feel that you need to have a divorce. They may feel that there's something that you need to cut off in your life. And if you have, that's great. They also may need to do this as well. They also feel that you may be very strict because you have really ascended and you've moved into your energy. So if that is going on with you guys at the moment, the strict energy, they also may feel they want to take the connection also to the next level, which can be marriage, buying a house together, doing those things as per se. So really trying to make a hard call of ending one contract and beginning another when it does come to you, but also trying to have the strength to actually make that happen. Any questions? I hope you enjoyed the 3-pole spread. If you want me to do this again, I'm happy to. So how did it relate for 1, 2, 3? You enjoyed it. I'm glad. I peeled myself away from the garden as well. Yes. Hi, Stella. I miss you. I miss all of you. It's been a while. You're blocked. Really? Oh, the joys. I love you too, Tammy. You blocked him. It's not an eraser, you know. When we do that, it's not like they go away. They come here too. It depends on the circumstances. I mean, if a person's being abusive to you, hell yeah. But I mean, if it's to initiate a response, it's a waste of time because you're only going to unblock and wonder what they're doing. And it's almost like, you know, just shift the energy onto you. Yeah. Yeah, so look, if you're triggered, just sit back and, you know, throw a pot or something. Yeah. And exercise, honestly. Separation energy. Girls, if you ain't exercising, remember, go have the cold chat because it's a build-up of the solar plexus and sacral chakra energy. You're recharging your battery. And if you don't put that into something positive, that depressive energy is going to come up. So you've got to transmute that into creativity. That's okay, doll. Yeah, and so it was the sanity for me, and I'm not saying I didn't cry, purge, get mad, get happy, detach, and that's, you know, nobody can take that from me. It's been the work I've done on myself. And so, you know, the work that you guys have done on yourself, it's never in vain. It's always something you've gained for the rest of your life. And, you know, you might at times be cross the situations, but then when you step back, you're sort of like, okay, you know, because again, when it's coming up, what is the mirror? Do you feel abandoned? Do you feel let down? Do you feel somehow this person is making you wait? You should always be doing everything that makes you happy. And it's, you know, not like if we click our fingers, a magic mic's going to drop in our lap and it's going to be like, hey, this one's perfect. You know, I said this at my sister-in-law's house the other day. It was like she had the Skittles and she had the M&Ms, and it's a bit like, you know, feminines be like, why can't you be sweeter like Skittles? And I'm not saying M&Ms aren't sweet, but they were chocolate M&Ms, right? Peanut ones. And I was like, the girls were kind of mixing them. And I was like, and I said to her mum, I love her mum, I said, you know, we always want that. Then when we get it and they're really nice, we're like, what's wrong with you? You sick? It's like, just take it with the grace of what it is. No wonder these poor men are so bloody confused. Are you sick? Is there something wrong? You're like, no. Why didn't you call me? It's like, they haven't forgotten your number, honest. Don't power lunge that phone, girls. They will call you more if you don't call them. They don't, if they've had nagging karmics in their life, don't be calling them 24/7 off the hook. You be sitting back, paint your toenails, have a nice time, you know. Don't be putting your depressing memes up on Facebook for them to feel sorry for you, because that's not going to work either. They're going to be like, heck, I don't want to go back there. She's crazy. She's all sad and shit. No. And don't put all your, you know, just keep it real. Just keep it real. You're having a poor day, and it's great management. It's great self-management. You know, media is huge at the moment. You know, be careful. Gemini energy is media. It's you know, it's there. Use it effectively, and also use it against yourself, where you can go, okay, I was going to tweet that. Could you not put it in a diary and then go back to it in a week and really utilize it and go, wow, that's how I felt. Okay, what do I feel now? That's your therapy session in a sense, is checking in with yourself. Oh, how's she doing? Go and listen to the Katy Perry song. It's never really over. It's fair-based frequency. You wouldn't be that lucky. I'm sorry. Oh, my love and thoughts sent to her. The Leo energy was heart chakra. So, the healing, you can send heart chakra healing energy and just, picture white light around her. Do a guided meditation. You can also give her a crystal doll if you want to. But the thing is, if that's healing and if it's, if the soul wants that, the soul wants that. Just be at peace with it. Yeah, just allow her soul to choose. Yes, energies are very interesting. As I was saying to Giggle the other day, I said, for the life of me, when I see passed over people, I don't look at death the same because I see them. So it's like their hair. And it's strange because sometimes literally I've got to double check and go, okay, that's not an actual real 3D human being. That's a passed over person. And I've got, because, they repeat a pattern. There was a person I saw on the freeway one time and it was the constant similar movement. And I was like, that person's not here. So, yeah, he must have got hit on the side of the road. And so the soul remained there. And visuals who are psychic will be able to see that. Children also, they're more open to it. But he was continuing to step up and walk away. But it was the same thing. And then he'd disappear and then he'd come back again. And I was like, wow, man, okay. Yes. So at the moment, Neptune retrograde, be very careful of your sleep state. Use Tumbaline. Yes, Karmics, you can use Tumbaline too. Maybe it will protect them from themselves. How many times did you drive by? Once, but I looked at my mirror, so it occurred. And I've seen them there a few times. It's a male energy. I had one park I went to once, and I kept feeling very nauseated. And, I channeled messages of that. And yes, I see and feel. Anyhow, so Ascension Symptoms, okay, down to it. You will be feeling your masculine's nausea. It is due to toxicity that they're purging. They can be purging toxic energies, toxic belief systems, people, addictive tendencies. Another thing that's been coming up is not necessarily moths anymore. It's more the butterflies, which is, we're coming out of our shell, we're being reborn, we're having that fresh energy, and there is this transformative frequency. Also pay attention to the messages of young children that are speaking to you at the moment, because they can be actually guiding you to tell you things. Now, because they're away from their ego and they're very young, if they're making a statement, it can even be of somebody you're talking to. This morning there was a song I was singing, and, I said to Giggle, I really do feel this is linked to divine masculines, and it was weird. It was unforgettable in every way. So, yes, it related to Giggle in some form, but again, it was that song when I was tuning into it, it was very much connected to, for the masculines, they're thinking on that one special person. And, the way things had changed their life and the importance of that factor, whatever that be. Like being Stuart Bocos. No, I don't either. Yeah, not at all. Some home truths last week told him he's insecure. We all individually are, but we only get angry when we give too much. But that's an us issue. That's like, okay, you gave too much. I had to look at that. And it wasn't anyone's fault as per se. I was entwining myself in situations that really had nothing to do with me. It's like, Barley's, peace, not doing it anymore. Hi, Dale. So, any questions in the house? Yes, Ascension, nausea for the masculines. Most karmic energies are going to be really fizzling at the moment between now and January, February, especially with Juno's retrograde and direct. I find that shifts always directly happen. We do have Mars retrograde for, I believe, another 10 weeks. Mind you, I've been moving, so it could be 9 now. You will find during that process, it will be very difficult for relationships collectively. So if there's mishaps, if there's miscommunication, try and, work through it, especially in twin flame path. You do tend to find energetically you're going to come back because you've got a soul contract. So if you're meant to learn something, let something go until you move into complete alignment, which most of the first wave is between now and I would say February. You guys will be back in union. Once you've reached past a certain ascension point, you can't leave. It just won't let you. I can't explain it. Feel totally disconnected. It's very normal. It's part of the process. You will feel cured, almost like it was never real. It's very strange. And then you won't feel their energy at all because you've tuned out. And then you will feel like their whole heat and their energy is around you, like they're at your location. But the disconnection, the not directly relating to the readings, it's all perfectly normal. It's part of you reaching union. So it's a great sign, to be quite honest. Yeah, it's part of the process, and it'll switch on, and then all of a sudden you'll have a massive purge. You'll be on the floor, you'll be crying, and you'll be going, oh my God, am I ever going to heal? And then you'll just be like, almost like you're being squeezed right out and there's nothing left to give. You're like, you cried a million tears. And then you're just like, I totally understand. I've had this about this person, this about that person. And you'll just be in a euphoric sense, really. You will know what I mean when you reach that point. It's very unique. I was like, his friends were going, oh, you okay, honey? And I was like, this is the best thing that ever happened to me. Yeah, you will. It's for you for the rest of your life. I mean, look at how far you come. It's the pain occurred many moons ago. The fear of the future, the fear of having someone that you love leave. The thing is, when we look at it, we're not being present in this one moment, and it could happen tomorrow. So instead of actually being so depressed about those things all the time, actually finding one pleasantry in the day is a huge, kind of Academy Award for Ascension Symptom sufferers, that you hold on to that and you self-master. You get to the point you're like, oh, I'm having a great day. You're like looking over your shoulder. Is it coming again? Breathe the energy out. When you feel it, you've got to tell between, is that yours and is it somebody else's? Had you been tuning into somebody? And it doesn't even have to be twin. Had you been tuning into somebody? And if it can be your mother, brother, sister, father, because what's happening is through your soul upgrade, you're becoming psychic. So empathically, you will feel the frequency of energies around you and self-mastery comes about. Okay? So if you need coaching or you want me to channel the energy of your twin and tune in psychically separate to the cards, as well as give you a coaching session to see where you're at on the journey, because you can actually transform it in 24 hours. Sometimes the blockages can be very 3D, perspective perception, and I've seen a lot. So, feel free to come through and we can tune into it. During the week, we don't have very long in the month. I will put up the date when I'm going to come live, and I'm going to do all the Zodiacs live. And then hopefully I will get to do October mid-month and get back into the routine now that we're settled into the new abode out bush. Love and light. I will talk to you guys later. Thank you for the donations. Appreciate it. Yeah, will. I'll see you tomorrow, True Heart.